Hi there, ICANers. This is Kimbre, and I just wanted to touch base with you on story timelines and transitions. Here on the screen, you can see that I have created a story timeline for um, a few characters, and this just helps me to have continuity through my story to make sure that there are no gaps in time or unrealistic time jumps. So, in this story, it starts on a Monday morning. Susie's going to go out for a hike. She loves to hike. We're going to fill some detail in there in the story. She decides she's going to take a new trailhead. During this time, she falls and she hurts herself. During chapter 2, we're going to move scenes to a restaurant with Tina and some other friends who are waiting for Susie. They wait there for a couple hours. No Susie. We jump into chapter 3 where we're back with Susie and who's coming to after falling and hurting herself. She's really disoriented. And she stumbles around and she just gets herself really lost. Chapter 4, Tina's worried. Susie's an experienced hiker. She should be back by now. No one knows where she's at because she didn't tell anybody that she was taking a new trailhead. That was a whim. She calls the cops. Tina does. In chapter 5, it's going to go overnight from Monday to Tuesday morning, and we see Susie's overnight lost on that trailhead. But see how just on Monday, we've moved through 5 chapters? So we've set the scene for Tuesday morning. The cops have already been called. We know Susie's still out on the trailheads. A search party is sent out. By that afternoon, Susie's been found. She's been rescued. Chapter 8, she's taken to the hospital. Chapter 9, her friends come and visit her. All happens in one day. Now here we've got Wednesday and Thursday are just in one chapter, chapter 10. We go through her recovery time. No broken bones really, or maybe she did, but it wasn't serious. They were just minor injuries. So she only needed to stay in the hospital for 2.5 days. Chapter 11, she comes home. We're going to tell our readers that, though, that, when chapter 10 spanned through Wednesday and Thursday. And Friday morning, as she's coming home, we're just going to tell our readers with a simple Friday morning, Susie's discharged from the hospital and she comes home. I know we stress a lot on showing and not telling our readers, but there are some points where we just simply need to tell our readers that we've transitioned. So Susie gets comfortable at home. And in chapter 12, her friend Tina comes to visit. And so does Nurse Harry, who we got to meet in chapter 10, maybe even in chapter 8 when she first comes to the hospital. Chapter 13, Tina wants to know who Harry is. Saturday afternoon comes around, and Harry calls Susie for a lunch date. And then we're going to flash forward. And in chapter 15, and we're going to tell our readers that, and we can, over the course of several weeks, Harry and Susie had many lunches together. And you can, kind of spotlight a few lunch dates here and there, one picnic here or their favorite restaurant here, and just kind of give a little bit of time, a little bit of scenery through those 2 weeks, kind of like a photo montage like we would see in a movie, until one afternoon in their special picnic place or their special restaurant, Harry pops the question. So as you can see, there's going to be more information after that. Do they get married? Are we going to go into that scene, or is that going to be the end of the story? And do we have to wait for book 2 to find out if Susie says yes to Harry? So as the author, you decide if that's where your story ends or if you're going to continue on. But I just wanted to give you a little guideline and some encouragement on how to put together a consistent and cohesive storyline, and how to give some easy transitions in your timelines as well. Like I said, transitions can be as easy as, meanwhile as Tina and Susie were visiting, Harry rings the doorbell, or something like, over the course of several weeks, like we did in chapter 15. But just find some easy transitions that help your reader to know that you are taking them into a different area of timeline. I hope that this information is helpful to you. I hope that you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving next week. And as always, happy writing.